Wasted Water Sports, ahoy! How's everybody doing? It is my favourite time of the year, Bledisloe Cup time. Wallabies versus the All Blacks. 21 years, I believe it's been. 21 years of domination of the Bledisloe Cup. Hamish McKenzie, ahoy! Couch be with you. Gamer Mel, ahoy! Gamer Mel must be pretty happy after the events of last evening. Truth Masters, yeah! Best commentary in the world. Well, thank you very much, Truth Masters. Let me get a screenshot of that. I've got to screenshot all the compliments. You take compliments wherever you can get them, right? When you live in this online world, you're so used to the hate. It's nice to see some compliments out there in the chat room. Welcome along, everybody. Yes, 21 years or thereabouts it has been since the Wallabies last won the Bledisloe Cup. Oh, Hamish, you saw my DM and then saw that you didn't even post the link to the store when you sent it over. Well, there you go. I couldn't have done anything about it anyway. Yes, indeed, the last time the Wallabies held the Bledisloe Cup, it was presented to the Australian team by John Howard. Prime Minister John Howard. The last time the Wallabies won the Bledisloe Cup, I had a Nokia phone. The last time the Wallabies won the Bledisloe Cup, I would have had a PlayStation. Well, maybe we just entered into PlayStation 2 realm. Either way, it's been a long time. And it is going to continue a shortened version of the Bledisloe this year because it is Rugby World Cup time. Very much looking forward to the Rugby World Cup later in the year. 2023, I dare say, is going to be more of the same. And I do have a same-game multi that pretty much backs that up. I'm very interested to see. Well, I've got a couple of them, actually, but only one is going to be on screen. And that's the main one that I'm in behind. Shan Sun 07 should be a good game indeed. Welcome along there, Shan Sun 07. My prediction is that it's probably going to be close for about 60 minutes. And when I say close, I mean Wallabies probably stay within 12 or 14 points. And then in the last 20 minutes, the All Blacks just switch on and completely run away with it. And then maybe a late consolation try for the Wallabies. I'm going out on a limb and I'm saying All Blacks 35, Wallabies 14. That's my early pre-game prediction. Stephanie, ahoy! Nokia phones are back. So are the Wallabies. Oh, good Lord. I tried a Nokia phone once a little while ago. I hope that they've improved over the past... When was that? I mean, it was still a long time ago that I had it. But yeah, I'm like, oh, Nokia. Nokia's used to be good. It wasn't good. No. Those next generation Nokias were not good. But hopefully they've improved. Unless, of course, you're only joking. Unless you're just mucking around having a laugh and Nokias aren't, in fact, back. You're just trying to cheer on your team. I don't know what that was all about. Shansun07, you're saying All Blacks by 50 plus. I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I would absolutely love to see it. But it's been a very, very long time since I've seen an All Blacks team just completely stay switched on for a full 80 minutes. That's why I'm leaning towards All Blacks will break away to a little bit of a lead. They have a tendency to switch off. I'll tell you what, though, it won't happen. It will not happen once Scott Razor Robinson takes over the All Blacks squad after the World Cup. There'll be no switching off them. He runs a very tight ship. There'll be none of this only playing for 50 or 60 minutes of a game. Not when Razor's in charge. Razor's going to lay the smack down. And if they're not switched on for the full 80, I dare say he's not going to be afraid to bench a few of the top names. Nichols, ahoy! Go the All Blacks, yes! Farsi, ahoy! Welcome along, everybody, as we count down towards kickoff. Let's have a look, actually. Let's jump over quickly and check out my same-game multi here for this game, which is not loaded. Bloody hell. Wouldn't you know? It's not loaded. All right, let's see if I can do this without breaking the entire stream. Sometimes when I do this, it has a tendency to knock the whole stream out. So please, if I drop off right about now, I'll be coming straight back. It's just, yeah, sometimes this gets a bit... I want to bring my multi up on the screen for you. James Jason Bourne, ahoy, how are you, mate? Oh, God, it's over on this screen, huh? We're also following along with the NRL action here tonight. Over on the other screen, I've got going on. Oh, thank you very much for the follow there, Shansun. We've also got going on over on the other screen, Panthers versus the Sharks in the NRL. What an absolute annihilation that is shaping up to be. Okay, so let's turn that tick off because we don't have any legs of the multi signed, sealed, or delivered yet. So we are going 4 legs. All Blacks to win. Just outright. All Blacks to win. Will Jordan, anytime try scorer. Shannon Frizzell, anytime try scorer. I'm a bit flaky about that one. I actually wanted to go with everybody's favourite Japanese side dish, takiaho balls. But he wasn't available as part of the multi, unfortunately. I've gone with Shannon Frizzell. I pretty much could have gone... Ultimately, I could have gone anyone else. I've got a second multi that's got Cody Taylor in it. I can see some early line-out drives happening from the All Blacks, asserting their front row domination. And we do have Marky Mark. The Wallabies against the All Blacks, they're always good for a late consolation try by one of their wingers. It was a toss of the coin between Kellaway or Marky Mark because, well, is Andrew Kellaway even playing tonight? Yes, he is. He's playing fullback. So towards the end of the game, maybe one of the outside backs has a tendency to score a late try, a consolation of sorts for the Wallabies. So that's kind of, it was a toss of the coin. Jason James, you're not good. Oh, that's no good. You could say that's not good. And I would. Well, anyways, I hope that the night improves. The night, tipping-wise, has gone well. You went the Knights, you cheeky bastard. Oh, I thought about it. I was torn. If I wasn't asleep, I probably would have switched my tip. But wouldn't you know who won the pony? I was asleep. And then, of course, I wake up and see that the Newcastle Knights have absolutely pantsed the Canberra Raiders. Farsi, we haven't done any sort of 1K celebration as yet. I don't really know what to do, in all honesty. I've had 2 other gaming channels reach 1,000 subscribers. You'd think I would know what to do, what sort of things to do for 1,000K celebration by now. But I don't. This is a completely different thing. Totally separate thing, isn't it? Doing sports commentary as opposed to playing video games. I did have some dreams, actually. None that I can talk about on live stream. Yeah. But I did. Farsi says, Eddie Jones making me laugh. Oz might be finished by the time his finishers get out there. 100%. I also loved Eddie Jones in the press conference leading up to the game. Or was it after the last game when they lost to... It was shortly after losing to Argentina anyway. So, and he said, if I was the All Blacks, I'd be worried. Worried about what? I don't think the All Blacks... Yes, okay, the All Blacks, they've had their own problems under this reign of terror by Ian Foster. The sooner that he's out, the better, in my opinion. CPTA Australia, but for only $5, you can hear about the dreams on the Wasted World of Sports OnlyFans. Get in quick. For a limited time only. Subscriptions, half price. Actually, don't look it up. It doesn't exist. For the love of God, don't even... Tupac, ahoy! I knew you were alive, you cheeky bugger. I knew it. I've been telling everybody. James Jason Bourne says, Dan's, Mills and Boons. Shansan07, he's a fool. Talking about Eddie Jones. He's a fool. Why did Oz bring him back? Well, Eddie Jones is very, very good. You've got to give the devil his due. He is very, very good for short-term prospects. Okay? He's not doing too well at the moment. But he's inherited a bit of a crap squad as well, in fairness to him. God damn it, that's really bright. So, yes, in fairness to Eddie Jones, I think he's a really good short-term coach. He will come in, he'll clean out a squad, he'll turn them around, but then if he sticks around for too long, straight downhill it starts to go. Look what happened with England. He turned that team around, and then he just stuck around. They kept him on board for just a little bit too long, and then suddenly, down he went. Farsi says, here's a question for you, Dan. Panthers or New Zealand to score more points? Well, considering that you get 7 at a time as opposed to 6 at a time in the rugby league, I'm going to... And you get 3 points for a penalty goal. And rugby union are much more mentally ingrained to take the points when they're on offer. I'm going to lean towards the All Blacks scoring more points than the Panthers tonight. Tupac says, when's the last time the Wallabies won the World Cup? The last time the Wallabies won the World Cup, Christ, was it 1999? Kanye Ketchup, you've got Australia to win at $5.50. Well, I can tell you that Australia have blown out completely to about $8 now, the last time I looked. Their price had completely gone out. But yes, Australia World Cup 1999 Rugby World Cup, I believe it was. France with the upset of upsets. They came out after halftime in the semi-final. They were behind to the All Blacks. The All Blacks looking very comfortable. And then France came out in the second half and put on a masterclass. Turned that game around and won. And then they did absolutely nothing in the final. I remember thinking to myself, France, they've beaten the All Blacks. They just couldn't back it up, basically. They could not back it up and go 2 big games in a row. They played their final that night against the All Blacks. And Australia just cantered to a simple World Cup final victory. Tupac says 2023 grand final winners, the Broncos. Mate, they're not even going to get there. I'm sorry to tell you. Broncos out in straight sets in the finals. You heard it here first. And then, of course, talking about World Cups, talking about upsets, France over New Zealand. Who can forget 2023? Who can forget referee Wayne Barnes missing the most obvious forward pass that you will ever see thrown on a rugby field that ultimately won the game for France? That being said, though, the All Blacks had plenty of opportunity in that game to ice it. All they needed to do was set up for a drop goal. They just needed to set up for a drop goal. They kept trying to crash ball over, one out from the ruck. I couldn't understand it. But yes, Wayne Barnes was public enemy number 1 in New Zealand for a very long time thereafter. Tupac says at least your team won today. Who's your team? The Knights? The Knights or Manly? Oh, the countdown is on. The teams are about to come out onto the field. Oh, let's get excited. Oh, the Raiders. Your team's the Raiders? The Raiders got spanked, mate. What are you talking about? Oh, the women's team. Fair enough. Fair enough. I didn't see that one. The Raiders men's team is a funny old thing, aren't they? They really should have won that game. Newcastle are very, very surprising here in recent weeks. Hey, that first try that the Panthers just scored. There we go. That's better. I felt like the top of my head was being chopped off. Just out of curiosity, was that Panthers' first try down the left edge of the Sharks' defense? Ah, Tupac is the Viking King. You could be right there. You could be right. Dan Jam, ahoy, mate. How are you doing? I'm so excited. I'm more than all good. Dan Jam, more than all good. I am so pumped up for tonight. Bledisloe Cup, my favourite time of the year. Michelle, ahoy. Welcome along. G. Ransfield, ahoy. More Raiders supporters. Wow. The Raiders supporters coming out of the woodwork. Unless that's Viking King on a multi. Tupac, it's me, Viking King. You're done supporting the men's team, so you're supporting the women's team. Fair enough. Or just jump on board with the Warriors, mate. Jump on board with the Warriors. Everyone is jumping on board with the Warriors. The Wars are everybody's second team this year. Yeah, I'm obviously not watching, Michelle, so I wouldn't have known. What happened to Will? Oh, Hammy. Jeez. 6 minutes in. Coincidentally, I think the Panthers scored about 6 minutes in. I think I remember somebody saying. Was that Farsi? Tupac says Warriors are your third team. Shan Sun has been on board with the Warriors since day one. I think ultimately the problem for the Warriors is going to be putting on a couple of big performances outside of New Zealand. In all honesty, I just don't, hate me for it all you like, but I just don't think the Warriors are going to be able to string together the 3 or 4 big wins in a row that they're going to need to. Teams are warming up and coming out onto the field now. Mel, ahoy there. Up the Wars, up the All Blacks. Yes. For those of you who are still relatively new to the channel, I am a strange beast as far as the teams I support and just in general. In the NRL, I do go for the Sharks. I do go for the Panthers as well because that's my dad's team. And I vary in the teams. The teams that I hate in the NRL change from year to year, from week to week practically. But because of family ties and everything, Dan Intox is born and raised in Australia to a half Irish, half Kiwi family. I spent a lot of time with the Kiwi side of my family when I was little watching rugby. I spent all my time at home with my dad watching rugby league. So that's why I caught on to the teams that I caught on to in league. But I spent most of my time with the New Zealand side of my family. Obviously, they were watching rugby union. So little Dan just jumped on board and became an All Blacks supporter and a Crusaders supporter and a Chiefs supporter. Artie Savia captaining the team tonight in the absence of Sam Cane. Sam Cane being held back, injury concerns. Cane has been immense this season, but overall, it's not necessarily a bad thing to get Dalton Papali'i some time out on the field. Liam Pritchard, ahoy! Go the Panthers. What's happening over there in the NRL? Out onto the field now come the Wallabies. Alan Alatoa leading them out. How many points are going to get piled on? I think Sam Cane's on his way out as well. Shan Sun 07. He's had a lot of history of concussion. that always makes it a little bit flaky, doesn't it? So, Captain Sam Cane, I dare say that Scotty Razor Robertson, he might bring with him a whole leadership shake-up anyway, right? Potentially. Jason Bourne says you hate it when the Fox team commentators call over the video ref explaining stuff. I reckon we should start a campaign just for giggles, you know. We should start a campaign to bring Dan to Fox Sports. Oh God, can you imagine? It just wouldn't be the same though, would it? I mean, I couldn't talk to you guys. All you guys and get. Is she wearing pasta on her neck? I used to have a pasta necklace when I was in school. Never wore it, but we used to make them. That was probably also incredibly culturally offensive, what I just said. Hence why you could never let me on live television. Can you imagine the outcry? There would be tweets flying in right now. Did he really just refer to that cultural necklace as pasta? Shan Sun says your brother lost his All Black career to a head knock. Oh, that sucks. May I ask, and feel free to not share this, of course, personal info and all. May I ask who your brother is? And Jason Bourne's like, can I be your assistant? I'll be like, I need something sorted out. Where's James Jason? Where is he? And he's off hobnobbing with Fletch and Hindy. Like, I need another drink. Kane Hames. Okay, yeah. The reason I asked is because I follow along with all the juniors and whatnot. So I was just curious if the name was going to ring a bell, and Kane Hames certainly rings a bell. Mel says, I live next door to the late Jerry Collins family. Jerry Collins, what a player. And who can ever forget him having a cheeky wee on the field before a Bledisloe Cup test? Jerry Collins down on one knee, flopping it out and having a cheeky wee on the sideline. Stephanie says, my kids made those pasta necklaces. See? It's a real thing, if anyone didn't believe me. Oh, he was coaching the Reds forwards this year. There you go. Speaking of coaching and the Queensland Reds, what's in the future for big, bad Brad Thorne? I wouldn't mind seeing him come in as an assistant to the All Blacks. The anthems are a-rockin', and we are getting closer and closer to kickoff. Bledisloe 1. But honestly, I think we should go on a 1,000K. That should be the 1,000K subscriber video. Let's go on a social media. Let's do a social media tear and try and get Dan a guest spot on Fox Sports, just for a laugh. I just don't think it would be the same, though. I really don't. Which stadium Dan game is playing tonight? I believe we're in Melbourne. I'm pretty sure we're in Melbourne. Emotions running high there for the All Blacks squad. That was the MCG. There we go. Oh, Shan Sun. That's actually not a bad idea. The rebirth of the footy show, led by the wasted world of sports. I like it. Wasted world of sports. Like, I don't mean to... This is not an arrogant statement by any stretch of the imagination, and I hope that it doesn't come across that way. But honestly, I think if Matty Johns was not interested in rebirthing the footy show, maybe, just maybe, Wasted World of Sports could be the answer. Bring that show back to its former glory. Well, actually, no. We could never live up to the original, but I'm pretty sure that we would do better than Erin Molan. That's all I'm saying. No offense to her, but she's terrible. Just awful. Not as a person. I don't know her as a person. As a host, awful. And I know I'm not the only one that believes so. Vobsy, you copied my multi, but you removed the Aussie. Whoops, well, I just missed my glass completely. That's the first spill tonight on camera. There was a huge spill earlier tonight off camera. It went all over my bloody soundboard. I'm surprised I was even able to still go live tonight. All right, let's go. Haka time. It is Haka time. Ron Smith at the front, ready to lead it. Oh, this is the part we always love. Oh, it's not led by Ron Smith. Few too many A's in there. I apologize for... Oh, it is led. He's just hiding in behind the pack. He's right in the middle. Ron Smith. What's going on here? Oh, Alatoa just brought a boomerang up to the halfway line and placed it on the ground. That's not how boomerangs work, mate. You're supposed to throw it and it comes back to you. You don't go and place it on the ground and walk off. That might be the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. Maybe that was the idea. It's like, this'll throw them off. They won't know what to do. Let's go and put a boomerang on the ground. Oh, they're doing Kapa Ongo. Not the traditional. Oh, it's on tonight. They only pull out Kapa Ongo when things are serious. So they are obviously taking this game quite seriously indeed. The All Blacks, they're going to pick up the boomerang. They're going to throw it. No, they're going to bow to it and take it away. As the Penrith Panthers have just gone ahead 10 points to 0. And actually, after 20 minutes, to only be behind by 10 points with the conversion to come, not too bad from the Sharks. I thought they'd be behind by about 70 points by now. James Jason says, imagine if Australia had a haka, the closest thing we have is hopscotch. Ah! Oh! My goddamn monitor just fell over. Holy crap. Hang on, I've got to put that back. I better clip that because I can only imagine the look on my face right then would have been priceless seeing this gigantic screen falling towards me. I mean, honestly, if you ever see my studio, for whatever reason, maybe I do a behind-the-scenes thing, and you see the size of all these monitors that I've got in here, you can imagine one falling towards you would be quite intimidating. That was quite scary. Oh, dear God. Oh, no! Referee Wayne Barnes. Speak of the devil. We were just talking about him in the pre-game. Wayne Barnes. Come on, James. You know me better than that. You know that I would completely own it and make a big deal out of it if it was. We are underway at the MCG. Wallabies will get first use of the ball. All Blacks with the kickoff. Wallabies retain. Firing it back to Carter Gordon in the 10 tonight. Wonder what's happened to Quade Cooper. Back to Barrett Bowden, who puts it high. The chase is good, and we're right back where we started. Wallabies retaining possession. Carter Gordon, it's going to be very interesting to see how he goes tonight in the number 10 jersey. Back to Karevi. That's not who you want kicking, and it was a typically atrocious kick. It goes down very, very short distance to Talea. Oh, that's a huge cutout pass from scrum half by Aaron. And the All Blacks just settle things down on halfway, sticking to the blind side, and that's gone out the back behind everybody. Aaron Smith channeling Reece Walsh and firing it over the sideline. Tupac says, unlike Eels versus Storm game, this crowd is almost the same as the Roosters versus Broncos game. There is obviously a much, much bigger turnout here to the rugby in Melbourne than the NRL. That shouldn't come as any surprise. Wallabies ball from the line-out. Carter Gordon off the side of the boot. The Wallabies kicking tonight has not started well. Well, first of all, Karevi is not a kicker, so he should never be putting boot to ball in the first place, but you need a better result from your number 10. And that was a horrid first kick up from Carter Gordon. Spraying off the side of the boot. Just a gift of possession to the All Blacks, who set up and clear now through Richie Mo'unga. Puts it high. Pressure on the kick chase. Was it touched forward by the All Blacks? No, says Wayne Barnes. Box kick from Aaron Smith. In behind the line. It's going to find touch. Oh, Bowden Barrett tries to tap it back in field, but cannot. And it's going to be a line out, 10 metres out. Pressure on this throw from David Parecki. This is a huge, huge line out early in the game. Australia absolutely must hit their target. And they do. Oh, that's a huge hit, and that's a try. It's going to be a penalty, is it? It's a try. And it's a try to Shannon Frizzell. A try to Shannon Frizzell. A massive tackle. It was an absolute hospital pass off the top of the line out. And Shannon Frizzell, oh, that's a monster hit by Scott Barrett. And that ball spills loose, and Shannon Frizzell is there on the spot. It's a tick on the multi. The crowd is booing. Oh, he might just be... It's a huge tackle, but he might just be a toenail offside. Scott Barrett might just be a toenail's length offside here. Oh, this would be huge for the Mole. Hurry up and take the conversion, Richie. Just miss it. Who cares if you miss it? Just take it. Do not take this leg of the multi off me, please. Because that was the hardest one to get. Shannon Frizzell. And Mo'unga, well, he took his time and he still missed. 4 minutes, 10 seconds in. What an absolute monster hit. That was like a video game, that. That was lining somebody up on Rugby 05 and just planting them, forcing the ball to spill. Shannon Frizzell, Vobsy, that was a big one because that was the questionable one. Will Jordan is going to score at least one try. Dan Jam, it was a close thing, but I think if that had have gone up to the TMO, it probably gets taken off them, in all honesty. All Blacks secure the kickoff. Box kick from AA Ron. And the Wallabies, this could get out of hand very quickly for them. A try inside the first 5 minutes. They need to just settle things down now. Get some points on the board. Backline move now. Karevi creates some space on the outside from Patea. But it's shut down. And they are stuck in quicksand here on the halfway line. Karevi again. Much more threatening when he runs instead of trying to kick. And that was just a huge, huge try for our multi. Shannon Frizzell. That was the difficult one. We got it nice and early. You love to see it. Now Marky Mark's gone through. Is this an answer for the Wallabies? Marky Mark, he's part of the multi as well. Can you imagine if we got 2 legs of the multi done inside the first 10 minutes? That would be huge. They're just 10 out from the line now, the Wallabies. They need a rapid response. They're all over the ball there, the All Blacks. They must release now. Tate McDermott from scrum half. Nelly sneaks over. Just a couple of meters out from the line. Crash ball. The pick and go is the option here for the Wallabies. Drawing in All Blacks defenders. Valentini is close. That's a double movement from Valentini. Short, says Wayne Barnes. McDermott brings it out now. Gordon to Karevi. Karevi is cut down short. They're centimetres down from the line. And now Korombete is out. He's in touch, Korombete. Korombete reaches out, plants it down, but he's over the sideline. And great defence there from the All Blacks. Solid defence. What a reply that would have been for Australia, though. Obi, ahoy, mate. How you doing? Well, here we go. Oh, hang on. Korombete, he plants it down. He is out. He's out. Who made that tackle? Was that Bowden Barrett? No, it's not. Who made that tackle? That was huge. Oh, was that Ioane? Tupac says, Dan, union refs or NRL refs? Who's better? Oh, hands down, union refs. That is a double movement there under the posts. Valentini, this is what we're going back to see. A clear second motion, and this is going to be a penalty in front of the sticks to the All Blacks. What? Award the try? Wow. I take it back. I take it back, Tupac. NRL refs are NRL refs are definitely better. That is a horrendous call. That is the most clear promotion of the football you will ever see. Well, I guess we've got to keep it interesting, don't we? The interesting thing about that, though, is if Korombete breaks that tackle and clearly scores in the corner, the try gets awarded in the corner and we don't even look at that. That's really weird. That's the most bizarre sequence I think I've ever seen. Anyway, a try to Valentini. I almost put him in the multi, to be honest. Commentator's curse, but with the refs, says Vobsy. Yeah, here I was just talking them up. And they go and make that call. Will, ahoy, mate. All Blacks throw it over the back. Geordie Barrett. Inside to Will Jordan. Jordan, one to beat. He can't do it. Quick ball. They're all offside on the short side here, Australia. Cody Taylor it is, taking it to the line. Big, bad Brodie Retallick. Oh, that's going to fire him up, the All Blacks. Scott Barrett. Savia now. Pick and go. Driving over the top. Retallick. Another run. Phase 6 now. All Blacks. Frizzell, the try scorer. Keeping it in the forwards. Drawing in the Wallabies defence. De Groot. Phase 8 now. When do they release? A nice pod set up. 10 out from the line. Counter ruck is good from Australia. That was a great piece of work there. Who was that? Will Skelton. Big Will Skelton. Now they spread it wide. The kick. Oh, it's a shocker. Patea. At least they hold on and they clear the ball. And that's big Will Skelton over the ball, ripping it away from Ron Smith. Ten minutes gone, 7 points to 5. Australia lead under very questionable circumstances. Now the All Blacks retain the line out. Scott Barrett, they set up the rolling maul. They've got great shape to this. Wallabies going backwards. They counter. They defend. All Blacks release. Geordie Barrett. Mo'unga. And up quickly. And a huge hit by Karevi. And it's going to be a penalty advantage to Australia. Karevi was all over them there. Racing up out of the line. He had to make the hit. And he did. It was try time if he misses that tackle. It was an all or nothing play. And I guess that's the sort of thing that you have to do against the All Blacks, isn't it? These are the sorts of players you have to go for. You're not going to beat the All Blacks by playing it safe. Short line out here for Australia. Not complete, shortish line out. 4-man line out. No, actually, Will. Both scoreboards say 7-5. Unless maybe you're on a little bit of a delay, Will. Yeah, I can't speak for what it says on your screen. But yes, as of me saying these words right now, both scoreboards say 7-5. All Blacks do have the ball. Box kick from Ron Smith. There was pressure all over him. They didn't get their defenders around the ruck that time. Up to halfway now. Australia got some enthusiasm about them here, the Wallabies. Parecki charging up. Parecki is kind of the Dane Coles mould, isn't he? Very small. Very small for a hooker. All Blacks are over the ball here. Hands on. No, told to release. Australia going through the phases. They've got some space out to the right. Gordon goes on his own. Dummy in the crash ball to Corumbete. And the Wallabies going through the phases here. Frizzell, counter ruck. The counter ruck is not good. It's a penalty to the Wallabies, and I dare say they take the 3 here and put themselves out 10 points to 5. And they are just playing at a pace at the moment the All Blacks cannot keep up with. Will says maybe that isn't a score in the social commentary box on the screen. Oh, no. Will, it goes from bottom to top. So the top is the latest. 5 minutes in where that conversion. It says Con, Australia 7-5. Yeah, so it goes, the bottom, the top is the latest stuff. And they are going to take the 3 points here. John Farnham lines it up from right in front. He's missed it! Oh, John Farnham has hooked it out to the left. He should stick to singing. Stick to your music, mate. 7 points to 5 it remains. Will, ever since we mentioned the social commentary box is just completely broken. That's hilarious. Huge dropout here for the All Blacks. Pushes the Wallabies way back into their own territory. Gordon shanks it off the side of the boot. And it's taken by Talea. All Blacks have the ball inside Wallabies territory. Carter Gordon. His kicking has deserted him. The kick over the top from Barrett. Jordan collects it. All Blacks on the front foot. Wallabies short on the blind side. Talea dummies, goes on his own. Inside the 22. All Blacks looking good here. Frizzell with the crash ball. Just setting things up. Numbers into the ruck for the All Blacks. Because the Wallabies have proven they're not afraid to counter ruck. They're all over the ball here. The Wallabies must release now. No, they've got the penalty. The Wallabies are... Oh, the All Blacks are missing Sam Cane tonight. They have not reacted to the absence of Sam Cane. And the Wallabies are dominating at ruck time. I have not seen a Wallabies team just completely destroy the All Blacks in and around the ruck since the George Smith-Phil Waugh combination. Oh, they fail to find touch, though. The penalty kick does not find touch. And Mo'unga hammers it downfield. Oh, that's a big mistake. Carter Gordon again. That's a better kick this time. Straight down the field, but straight down the throat of Beauden Barrett. Jake Ponchi, ahoy, mate. Barrett. Straight down the throat now of Corin Betty. Corin Betty's not going to kick. Oh, he is! Corin Betty is going to kick. I can't believe what I've just seen. Jordan. He kicks in return. Is Kellaway going to have a kick? Let's see. Kellaway does have a kick. It's off the side of the boot. It's close to the sideline. Almost out on the full. Mo'unga now. Chip and chase for himself. Richie Mo'unga. How's the bounce? The bounce is good for the All Blacks. Australia will come away with it, though. And the Wallabies. Oh, that's a terrible pass from scrum half by Tate McDermott. What the hell was that? Setting up for the box kick. McDermott puts it high. There's no kick chase really to speak of. Oh, but Beauden Barrett's totally cacked it up. And Talea has to go back for it. Will Jordan. Nothing really on there for the All Blacks, but a kick down. And Carter Gordon. Oh, no. John Farnham's having a shocker of a game here in the number 10. John Farnham. Now, Beauden Barrett. Beauden Barrett's been taken out by Karevi. Oh, it's got to be a penalty, and it is. Karevi has taken Beauden Barrett out after the kick. And here is a 3-point opportunity to put the All Blacks ahead. Oh, they're not thinking about the 3 here. The All Blacks, they're going to put it into the corner. The ABs are putting it into the corner. Tough game, says Jake Ponchi. Certainly has been. So far, the Wallabies, at the moment, are well and truly up for it. .5 minutes gone. All Blacks with the line-out throw. Brodie Retallick brings it down. They break early. Aaron Smith inside to Talea. But the Wallabies defense is wise to it. Scott Barrett with the hit up. Plants it down. Smith to Papali'i. Mo'unga gets through the first tackle. Still fighting Mo'unga. He must surrender now. All Blacks retain the ball. Scott Barrett again charging forward. Taylor. Oh, and it's a penalty to the Wallabies. Clean out, illegal around the ruck, which created that space. "20 minutes gone. We're a quarter of the way through, and the Wallabies are well and truly hanging with the All Blacks here so far. Well and truly. They are well up for this game, it seems. Can they do it for the full 80? It's always the question. The penalty kick up towards halfway. 10 short of the halfway line. Australia line out ball. Parecki throws it in, not competing. Valentini now. One off the line out, charges up, still shy of the halfway line. Counter ruck from the All Blacks. Going nowhere. Well defended there, Australia. Box kick from McDermott. The kick chase, a little bit better this time, but still not shallow enough on those box kicks. That's where the Wallabies are just falling short at the moment. The kicking game. Barrett, Beauden puts it high. Will Jordan leading the chase. The kick chase is sublime, but what a take at the back by Kellaway. That is a great take under pressure. Oh, and another terrible delivery from Tate McDermott. I have been calling for him to be in the squad over Nick White the past couple of years. Oh, through they go. Kellaway's in space. Kellaway needs support. He doesn't have it. And Mo'unga lines him up and dumps him down. Front football here for the Wallabies. Phase 5. They go. Midfield. Chopped down is Angus Bell. They stay on the short side here. Korombete. They're 22 out now. And a penalty to the All Blacks. Just diving straight in over the top was Jordan Patea. You need to keep your feet. You've got to keep your feet. Beauden Barrett fires it into touch up over halfway. And this game has been played at a frantic pace. The All Blacks, apart from that try inside the first 5 minutes, they really haven't offered anything up, to be perfectly honest. They've not threatened the Wallabies line ever since. Off the top of the line out, Smith to Mo'unga. Backline move coming up. No. Ioane just takes it into contact. Staying on the short side now. Will Jordan. Ron Smith screaming orders to the open side, but he goes short side. Frizzell keeps it alive. Now some space for Talea. Does he have the speed? No. The Wallabies shut him down. He cuts back in field. Inside the 22 now. All Blacks ball. Just settling things down. A big tackle there. Staying on this short side. Their numbers, huge numbers down the short side, but not enough space to work with. They have to cut back in field. And they are just killing the Wallabies down the short side here. No option but to swing it back open now. They're close to the line now. The All Blacks pick and go, pick and go. A metre out. Frizzell, a penalty advantage. They're offside here, Australia. Or hands in the ruck. Hey, Aaron Smith goes on his own. He's short. It's going to be a penalty. We come back for the penalty. Do they take the 3? We'll see what they do. Let's see if I miss anything crucial. The line-out throw is good. All Blacks retain possession. They drive. The rolling maul is on. Still standing. Driving backwards, though, the Wallabies. The All Blacks have to break away. 5 out from the line. All Blacks retain. Frizzell. He wants another one. Savia. Close. With the pick and go. All Blacks. All the momentum here. Brodie Retallick. Phase 5. Just to the left of the post. 5 out. Skelton trying to get on the ball. Can't do it. De Groot charges forward. Trying to draw in the Wallabies defence. Trying to set up a backline play. They're numbered up out here to the left, the Wallabies, big time. That was a risky play. Counter ruck is good. Counter ruck was good, but they get away with it here, the All Blacks. Scott Barrett charging forward, close to the line. A metre out. Big defence required here from the Wallabies. 11 phases, the All Blacks are gone. Taylor. He's short. The ball spills out. He's offside there. Korombete. And that was just stupidity from Korombete. That was just a complete brain fart. Marika Korombete. And this is a gift 3 points. But they tap and go. Talea. And will score under the post. Oh, we thought they were going to take the 3. We were just waiting for the 3. It was a gift penalty goal. And Talea has said, no, thank you. I will tap and go, and I'll just score this on my own. Thank you. A try under the post for the All Blacks. Wayne Barnes is going to try and find something to take it off him, though. You better believe it. Mr. Ed's dead. Ahoy. Welcome along, mate. Welcome along. An absolute gift 3-pointer that they've turned down here. So Talea, he has to have scored this. Otherwise, what was Korombete thinking, though? It should have been 10 in the bin for Korombete, quite honestly. That was a blatant offside. Yeah, that's a try. Yep, this is a try. He's touched it with his foot. He can drop it initially, that's fine. That's all good. He does end up touching it with his foot, and that is a try. I mean, he nearly cocked it up. It's not a... Oh, they've overruled this. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so we come. It's a yellow card for Corumbete. So we've come back for the yellow card, which I said I'm surprised didn't happen in the first place. Well, the officials are doing their best to keep Australia in this game. But there was absolutely nothing that could be done about that. That was a blatant professional foul from Corumbete, and he needed to go. He needed to go. Scrum down, though, for Australia. 5 metre scrum, pressure on. Let's see what this forward pack is all about. Is this going to be the turning point of the game? Asks Dan Jam. Australia starting to go backwards. They hold firm just long enough, and that is Carter Gordon's best kick of the night. Clearing up towards halfway. "26.5 minutes gone. Australia a man down for the next 9 minutes. Corumbete a blatant offside. Because it happened before that. That's what led to the tap, Jason. Is basically. The All Blacks got a penalty from Corumbete being offside. That's why they took the tap. And the failed tap attempt gave the referee enough time to examine it more clearly and then lead to the yellow card. And it's loose at the back of the ruck here. The All Blacks are under pressure and they are feeling it. Oh, a cheeky little foot there from Ala Alatoa. A sneaky boot from Ala Alatoa. Oh, and then, Valentini's in trouble here. Valentini with a shoulder to the face of Aaron Smith. Gets away with that one. And the All Blacks here in the opening 30 minutes, apart from that try that they scored 4 minutes in, they are just feeling the pressure. They're under the pump. And as I look over to the right-hand side of the screen, I can't help but notice, unsurprisingly, the Sharks are donuts at halftime. I wasn't expecting anything less than Sharks donuts at halftime in the NRL, to be perfectly honest. But what does surprise me is that the Panthers are only on 18. 18 donuts at halftime. Panthers over the Sharks in the NRL. Karevi. Oh, surely Karevi's had his kicking license revoked. But here he is kicking again. All Blacks. Nowhere to go here. The Wallabies defense marks up. Now, Bowden Barrett sends it wide. Geordie fires it across to Talea. As long as he doesn't try and tap the ball here, Talea, it should be fine. And he doesn't. He takes it into contact. You've got to earn the right to go wide, though. All Blacks trying to fire it out there way too fast. Now, Bowden Barrett, the short kick in behind the line. How's the bounce? It's great for Valentini. And Valentini secures it on halfway. Wallabies dominating territory. Now stretching it to the right. Karevi takes on the defense. He's shut down. They're taking them on here, the Wallabies. Hometown music. Ahoy! Marky Mark trying to find a way through. Wallabies. Phase 5 now. That's stripped out by the All Blacks. Loose. And it's going to be a knock on. Hometown music, the Vincent Spears. You're watching the Sharks vs Panthers right now. Unsurprisingly, in the NRL, donuts for the Sharks. I'm kind of happy about the 18, though. The Panthers have only managed 18 points. I honestly thought that it would have been at least 40-0 at halftime. I'm not even joking. I thought that the Panthers were good for about 6 tries in the first half, and then they would go to sleep. "30 minutes gone in this one. 7 points to 5, the Wallabies. What a turn-up it has been. Zo plays. Ahoy. How are you, Zo? Scrum collapses on this near side. Reset. Australia pulling out all the tricks. 5 minutes left in the sin bin. They are going to cause all the scrum resets in the world here to run that clock down. Smart play, by the way. I would just like to say that I'm not having a go at them at all. That's clever play by Australia. Collapse the scrum, run the clock down. Get back to a full complement. They have taken the All Blacks by a little bit of surprise here. You feel like the All Blacks scored that try inside the first 5 minutes and kind of went, yes, this is going to be as easy as we expected. But then the Wallabies have just gone up a gear and played at a pace that the All Blacks so far have not been able to counter. They've looked good down this left-hand side, though. Geordie Barrett now beats one, stays alive, twists in the tackle, and drives forward an extra 10 metres. They've looked very good down that short side. Now Cody Taylor breaks through. Can't get the arms free for the offload. Front football. All the momentum now is with the All Blacks. Sorry. Aaron Smith breaks away to Frizzell. Scott Barrett on the short ball. Big Bad Brody takes a hit up. 6 phases through. They go this left-hand side again. Cody Taylor threatening. He's through. They play it back. They've got numbers out to the left. Talea this time. Fires it inside and Patea gets a hand to it and touches it over the sideline. It's going to be a line out. And there will be pressure here on the Wallabies. A 5 metre line out. The drive is going to be on here. So plays, you're doing good. You're just playing the Undawn game. What's the Undawn game? Two and a half minutes left in the sin bin for Korombete. Australia, no damage has been done with a man down yet. This is a big, big line out, though. Big line out throw. This could potentially be a moment in the game. This might be the moment that we look back on at full time and go, that was it. That was the big play. Whether the All Blacks score or whether the Wallabies defend it, either way, this could be the moment that we look back on and go, that was it. That was where this game was won and lost. Seven minutes to go till halftime. James Jason Bourne says, that bloke looks like the love child of Seal and Wesley Snipes. I wonder who he was talking about. All right, here we go. Time back on. There was a little bit of an injury break. 2.5 minutes left in the sin bin for Korombete. 7 minutes to go till halftime. Taylor throws into the line out. Scott Barrett brings it down. Wallabies look to counter the rolling maul. Great shape and great drive here from the All Blacks. They're marching forward. Wallabies calling for troops. They've just bulldozed over, and that is a try. Cody Taylor at the back. They can't defend that. Cody Taylor is over. And the All Blacks go up 10 points to 7, kick to come. And that is a tick on my second multi. My second multi includes... So the one that I don't have on the screen... Yeah, the one that I don't have on the screen is... God, how do I get to it? My bets. There we go. Pending. All right. Cody Taylor, Andrew Kellaway, Will Jordan, and Geordie Barrett. So I've got one tick on both multis at the moment. One tick off both of them. I wish I could combine them. It'd be great if you could combine multis and just go, you know what? I'll have one of that one and one from that one, and I would be 2 up right now. That would be good. Richie Mo'unga moves in, strikes this well. It's perfectly placed right down the middle. It is the All Blacks 12, Wallabies 7. And considering that the Wallabies have really been dictating the speed of this game, they've been controlling territory for the most part. And I dare say they've probably had most possession in this first half. The fact that they are staring down a deficit going into the break, that will be very, very telling indeed. The All Blacks, Carter Gordon now with the most shocking kickoff you'll ever see in your life, and they've played at it. Why would you even play at that ball? Let it bounce and see where it goes. And it's going to be a midfield scrum now. Carter Gordon, wow. So, honestly, do any Wallabies supporters know what happened to Quade Cooper? I mean, he's on the bench. Quade Cooper. We might see Quade Cooper very early in the second half. Let me put it that way. Because Carter Gordon has, honestly, he's failed his audition here tonight. Whatever happened to that young fella that they were lining up to be the next number 10? They sort of threw him to the wolves. And then we never saw him again. Can't remember his name. That's how much impact he had. Scrum down on halfway here for the All Blacks. And it's a huge scrum. Demolishing the Wallabies forwards. Penalty advantage. Now they release. Mo'unga takes it to the line. Keeps it alive. Smith, the quick ball out to Talea. They're creating space down that left-hand edge. Dismantling the Wallabies at will. No advantage, and back we come for the penalty. And we've got a little issue here for Alatoa holding the back of his leg. Injury break is a great time for me to have a break myself. Alatoa is in a world of hurt in back play. Oh, he is in a world of pain. Alatoa, he might be done. Getting ready to come onto the field here. Tupou. That's huge. Taniela Tupou. Eddie Jones looks worried. He's like, this wasn't part of my replacement plan. Oh, Alatoa completely busted. Hard luck there for the big prop. Getting the Medicart out and everything. He can't put any weight on that left leg. And that's Alatoa done for the evening. Taniela Tupou coming onto the field. My pre-game prediction was All Blacks 35. What did I say? 35-14 or 35-17? I can't remember now. It was All Blacks 35 something in between the 10 to 20 region, which is actually looking pretty decent at the moment. The mini rhinoceros is coming on, says James Jason Bourne. And the other mini rhinoceros is going off on a Medicart. Look at it, he's like, mate, look, you're on TV. He's like, I know, mate. I've been on TV heaps. Oh, another try incoming here for the Panthers. Over in the NRL. So back for the penalty we go. All Blacks fire it into touch. They can launch another attack here. 2.5 minutes. Wallabies just need to hold on here. No more damage before the halftime break. That is the name of the game for them. Taylor with the throw. To the front it goes to Salvia. They release it immediately. Talia breaks through 2, 3, 4 tackles. Talia still going. He's 5 meters out now in front of the post. Feeble defense here from the Wallabies. 2 minutes to go to the halftime break. That's not what you need. Weak defense in the midfield. And the All Blacks now are just rolling towards the line. Scott Barrett chopped down in a huge tackle. But the pressure is still on. All Blacks setting. Looking, which way do we go? Savia dummies, goes on his own. He's over the line and he's held up. Savia held up. Goal line dropout here for the Wallabies. But the pressure will remain. Some horrible defense there. Carter Gordon bumped off. 4 defenders he's beaten before he's finally chopped down there. Talia. A minute to go till the halftime break. Can the Wallabies hold on? Will the All Blacks be thinking drop goal somewhere here? Geordie Barrett. He's not thinking drop goal. He just puts the head down, charges forward. I mean, honestly, do you set up a 3-pointer here? Legitimate question. Go to the break 15-7 up. They probably want the try, of course, but can they set something up here? Ioane. Now they've got space on this left-hand edge again. Wallabies number up well, though. Shut it down. Retallick takes it forward. Phase 6. Back into midfield. Scott Barrett. No competition at the ruck here. Now Geordie Barrett. Thought he spotted a little bit of a gap. Goes to ground and sets it up. Scott Barrett now midfield. Keeping this ball alive and through the phases. 11 phases now. There goes the siren for half-time. 11 phases through. Mo'unga steps back in field. He's taken down in front of the posts. Ioane out to Taylor. Bumps away from one. Goes to ground. Wallabies try to get on the ball. Counter ruck is good. Savia out to the left. They've had a lot of success down that left-hand edge. Scott Barrett with another hit up. 14 phases in now, the All Blacks. They haven't really gone anywhere, though. The Wallabies defence holds firm for now. Bowden Barrett. Still, no meters made. Cody Taylor, pick and go. Finds some space around the ruck. Frizzell plants it back. Talea picks it up now. Always beats the first defender, Talea. Smith sending it out to the right-hand side. Just setting something up now, the All Blacks. Geordie Barrett out the back. Here goes Will Jordan for the corner. Steps in field and scores. Will Jordan. Will Jordan's over. That's another tick on the multi. Oh, we're going into half-time with 2 ticks down. 1 to go. Will Jordan in the corner. 17-7 to the All Blacks. Going into the half-time break. They are the best team in the world at scoring either side of half-time, and Will Jordan is a dead set certainty for a try scorer any time he's out on the field. That does indeed answer the question, Vopsy. Vopsy, Will Jordan is pretty much a 99.9% guarantee that he's going to score a try. Every time he's on the park, pretty much take it to the bank. He's an insane player. Knows his way to the try line. So there you go, Vopsy. You jumped onto my multi. You probably did the right thing by leaving the Wallaby out of it. And you've got yourself a cheeky little win. Congratulations. Richie Mo'unga from the sideline. Oh, it's through. Straight down the middle. Richie Mo'unga. And the Wallabies threw everything at the All Blacks that half. And they will go into halftime staring down a 12-point deficit. And I must say, that's got to be devastating. It has to be devastating. They literally threw everything at the All Blacks there in that half. They dominated long periods of it. To look up at that scoreboard and see that, it's got to be devastating. A huge turnaround. It's going to come down to the last 10 minutes. Honestly, Jason Bourne, usually what happens in these Bledisloe Cup contests is the Wallabies hang tough for about... tonight for about 30 minutes. But the Wallabies usually hang tough. Then the All Blacks are going to come out after half-time and they're just going to go up a couple of notches that the Wallabies don't have. And they're going to race out to about 34 points. They'll switch off, and Australia are always good for 1 or 2 late tries against the Wallabies. Always. It'll be 34 points to 7 with like 15 minutes to go. And then Australia will just go bang, bang. And hopefully in that last 15 minutes, it's Marky Mark who is one of the try scorers. Hopefully. That's what I based my predictions on. That's what I based my multi on. And hopefully that's the way it goes. But either way, if the All Blacks win, I do get the bonus bet returned if Marky Mark is the only one that lets me down for the Wallabies tonight. So I'm in a pretty decent situation. Either way, I think I'm in a pretty solid situation here at the halftime break. Not as solid as Vopsy, who took my multi but left out the Australian player. But the rewards also will not be as high. Shack of Hearts, ahoy, mate. Malty's looking good. Oh, Shack of Hearts, because we were talking about this the other night, I believe, on the NRL stream, and I ran through the multi, and I agreed with you. I think it was you. I don't know. Somebody brought up that Shannon Frizzell was probably the only questionable one. And I agreed. I'm like, yes, I was 50-50 about Shannon Frizzell, but I ended up going with him. And wouldn't you know, he scores the first try. That was a very important first tick of the multi to get off. Because I think if he didn't score early, he probably wasn't going to. So yes, Shannon Frizzell, that first try was very important. Will Jordan was always going to score at some point. It's all over to Marky Mark now and the Wallabies. And I think it's going to be a Justin Olam moment. And if for anyone who's been on the channel for any length of time for our NRL streams, you will know what the Justin Olam moment was. I think we're in for another one tonight. It'll be another Justin Olam moment if it happens. The Wallabies, I don't think they'll get that Marky Mark try until maybe the last 5 minutes. Vobsy says, I don't know why the Knights were underdogs today. I think only because it was in Canberra. I honestly think home ground advantage was the only thing that was swinging at the Raiders' way. That's the only reason, I believe. Mr. Ed's Dead says, go, Marky, go. Well, we've got a full 40 minutes. We've got a full 40 minutes to cheer on Marky Mark. Jason Bourne says, I think you need to play and dance a Marky Mark song. Maybe. Obi says, yeah, boys, hit that like on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, 1,000 subscribers now on YouTube. I can't believe it. This is, like, I've talked about it a couple of times. I have had a couple of channels. Two of my gaming channels have reached 1,000 subscribers before. Never has a channel gone this quickly, though. I mean, this is still only our second season of NRL coverage. So only 2 years of doing it properly. I've never had a channel hit 1,000 that quickly before. It took me, on my first gaming channel, it took me about somewhere in the region of 3 or 4 years to reach the first 1,000. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. I mean, I know it's a thing that people say, like, I couldn't have done it without you, but, I mean, I literally couldn't have done it without you because you are the numbers, right? So if there's ever a reason to say I couldn't have done it without you, and it is legitimately 110% true, it's this. So, yeah, thank you very much, everybody. And we even had super chats. The donations on YouTube, the super chats, have only been available for one stream. They've only been available for one stream, and we got a few last night. I couldn't believe it. The super chat squad is well and truly alive. Jason Bourne says, hey, I'm more than a number. How dare you? Well, you are. That's why you've got the spanner. That's a spanner, by the way. What else could that be? Well, I've actually never seen anybody pick up a spanner like that. And apparently it's not even a spanner, it's a wrench. Well, there you go. Christ almighty, I don't even know what my own admin icon is. I do look forward to starting channel memberships, though. Channel memberships are going to have something different again. I've got to think of what that something will be. I think the entry level membership should just be the Wasted Water Sports badge, the Wasted Water Sports logo. But I don't know what else we should have. Oh, Tyrone Peachy has been given 10 minutes in the sin bin. Just glancing over at the other screen here and seeing the NRL. As Penrith are up 22 points to donuts over the Sharks. And Tyrone Peachy has just been given 10 minutes in the sin bin for a high shot. Can the Sharks get themselves on the board? You know what I love about Alana Ferguson, by the way? She does the NRL and the rugby. She does the NRL for Channel 9, and she does the rugby for Stan Sport. You got to love that she does both of them. Coming up later tonight, Springboks versus Argentina. Can Argentina spring the upset? Probably not, but time will tell. Jason Bourne says, thought you might like this, Dan. Oh, God. Oh, dear God. What have we got here? What do we have here? It's safe? Okay. All right. Oh, there's a cockatoo. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I have seen that. It's all the birds getting down with the sickness. There's also one there's also one with oh, I have to listen to the song. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't have the capacity to do that right now. There's also one with that screaming goat. You know that viral screaming goat video? And somebody put that screaming goat over the top of System of a Down, Chop Suey, and it was fabulous. Vopsy asks, hey Dan, when you tip NRL games, sometimes it has the margin. You think the team will win by? If you get that correct, do you get bonus points? No, you don't get bonus points, but the margin is the tiebreaker. So if you're on the same points as somebody, the margin is what defines who jumps above. It's like it's your for and against. If you're tied on points, the count back is the margin. All right, Wasted Water Sports. I'm going to have a quick break for half time. We'll be back for the second half after this. New Zealand, the All Blacks, 19. Wallabies, 7. The MMA, Soiru. Ahoy there, mate. You met Serge at a beach in New Zealand last year. That's crazy. I wonder what he was doing. Hang on, well, they weren't on tour last year. All right, anyways, I've got to have a break for half time. Rest the old vocal cords a little bit. Be back for all the second half action coming up after this. Wasted Water Sports. Oh, he lives in New Zealand now. Well, there you go. That's why he was there. Nice. Hey, you know, I used to be involved in music promotions. Maybe I should try and do a cheeky little System of a Down reunion tour. The MMA, Soru. No, I did my poo before the game. Got it out of the system. Half-time, I just like to refresh my drinks, rest the voice a little bit. As you can imagine, commentating on games kind of puts some strain on the vocal cords. 28 points to 0 in the NRL. Panthers over the Sharks. No surprises there. Teams are back out for the second half. The All Blacks weathered the storm here in the first half. The Wallabies, they came out with enthusiasm. They dominated large portions of that first half everywhere but the scoreboard. And staring down that 12-point deficit at the break has got to be demoralising. We've got 40 minutes to cheer on Marky Mark and ice this multi. And we are back underway now. Carter Gordon gets the kickoff underway. All Blacks will have first use of the ball. Just bringing it back into midfield. Setting up a better clearance here. Look for the AA run. Oh, it's been stripped away by the Wallabies. And that is the perfect start to the second half for them. They've got the ball. They've got the All Blacks on the back foot. Send it out to Marky Mark's wing. Yes, here we go. The kick through. That's a terrible kick. Who put that kick in? What a great goof. Who kicked that ball? That was not the right option. Tate McDermott. Tate McDermott has played himself well and truly out of the Wallabies squad in this game. I have been anti-Nick White for the longest time, and I've been calling for Tate McDermott to replace him. But honestly, Tate has just played himself completely out of the squad on the back of tonight. He is just not up to it. Wallabies, though, controlling the early minutes of this second half. McDermott. A cheeky little run. Nowhere to go, though. Wallabies through the phases. 7 now. Setting things up in midfield. Big run from Valentini. Flat pass there from Tate. Tom Hooper. Driven backwards in the tackle. Big defense here from the All Blacks. The MMA Soiru says Scott Barrett's tackle on Tate was one of the biggest I've seen in ages. It was like a video game, wasn't it, the MMA Soiru? It was honestly like a video game. I remember one of those Rugby 05 or one of those early EA Sports rugby games, and you would press the big hit button and just dive in with the shoulder, which would knock the ball loose. That's exactly what it reminded me of, that tackle. Penalty advantage to the Wallabies. Here's their chance to fire back. Pataya puts the kick across for Marky Mark. It's way too heavy. Oh, it was on, though. It was on. Oh, God, there you go. Okay. Check my earlier question, MMA Sawyer says. Well, there you go. That's exactly... I remember those early EA Sports games, hey, and you would hit that button and the player would just, seriously, just dive like a spear. It was like a Goldberg spear. Force the ball loose. That was a terrible kick. They had the penalty advantage, so they're going to retain possession of the ball, but... Oh, we were on there. We were on. That was Marky Mark's wing. Jason Bourne says, what's the divvy on the multi? I I think this is not much. It's not a big one, but I thought it was a pretty good one. Big counter drive here from the All Blacks. They hold the ball up off the ground. It's not coming out of there, and this is going to be an All Blacks scrum. No, like 400. Oh, maybe only a couple hundred. The other one is a 400 one. All right, so my main multi is my main multi is 450. Yeah, $450 for the main one on screen. $200 for the one that's not on screen. So for the one that is not on screen, I need Andrew Kellaway and Geordie Barrett, anytime try scorer. For the one that's on screen, for the main one, the 400 one, we need Marky Mark. So it's paying $45. It is paying $22.99. Another solid scrum here from the All Blacks. Winning another penalty advantage. They release. There goes Geordie Barrett. Beats the first defender. They stretch it wide now. Under the penalty advantage still. Barrett to Talea. Trying to stay in field. He's taken out. And we will come back for the penalty advantage. Will we? No. Yeah, we will not come back for the penalty. I did not hear referee Barnes call advantage over. At no point there did we hear referee Barnes call advantage over, and he continues his cheeky little love affair with with not doing right by All Blacks teams. Look, I've got no problem with the call itself. Advantage was well and truly taken. They went 20 metres upfield, but the referee's job is to call advantage over, and he didn't. If he calls advantage over, they maybe do a different play there. Something not so expansive and close to the sideline. Another shocker from Wayne Barnes against the All Blacks. Something he is well known for, it must be said. But anyways, Wallabies have got the ball here. 22 out from the All Blacks line. Game of Mel goes for 80 minutes, just like the NRL. Oh, that's loose in midfield. Knocked backwards, says... knocked backwards, says referee Barnes. Skelton pops the offload to Valentini. He's got no support, though, Valentini. The All Blacks, though, off their feet, diving straight over onto that loose ball. You can't leave your feet in rugby union, basically. When push comes to shove, to be in play, you have to be standing and supporting your own body weight. Dan Jam says he's always against my team in the league. He's pretty terrible, really, Wayne Barnes, isn't he? In all honesty, I'll tell you, my favourite referee ever, Nigel Owens. That little South African dude was always really good as well. I can't remember his name because it's been so long, but yeah, he was always good. He used to take no nonsense. A couple of those South African referees were really good, actually. Joubert, maybe. The little fella. The MMA Sawyer says Wayne Barnes has been around for a long time now. 2007 Rugby World Cup, we won't forget. No, I was talking about it in the pre-game. MMA Soiru. I was talking about it in the pre-game. That was the most blatant forward pass you will ever see in the history of all sports that have forward passes. Valentini now looking for a double. Crashing over. McDermott fires it out to the left. That is not the right side of the field for me. Karevi is short. They're claiming the try here, the Wallabies. We're going to come back, though. They need to go over the other side of the field. Marky Mark's side. Let's have a look. South African. I'll tell you who the greatest referee in recent times is, though. That French referee who had the balls. The French referee who actually had the balls to call the Wallabies out for time wasting. All Blacks, they're all over the ball. Counter ruck is good. They steal it. And that is fantastic goal line defense. Match-winning goal line defense. Captain Courageous leading from the front. And we've got another Wallaby down with a leg injury. Is that Taniela Tupou? If it is, he's come on to replace Ala Alatoa, who went off with a leg injury. Imagine if the replacement for a leg injury has now busted his leg. Can you imagine? He is not getting up in a hurry. And it is Taniela Tupou down with a busted leg. He has come onto the field to replace Ala Alatoa, who busted his leg, and he has now busted his leg as well. There we go. Referee Reynolds gave Bernard Foley the time-wasting penalty. Yes. What a great call. All my Australian mates were blowing up about it, but how about blow up at your own stupid team for trying to run down the clock? Just kick it into touch up towards halfway, win the line out, and you've won the game. But no, instead, they tried to jockey the system, and the referee actually had the balls big enough to call them for it. And I applaud him. Referee Reynolds. What a great call. And he actually had the courage to do it. I applaud him. Yeah, this is crazy. Taniela Tupou is down. He came onto the field to replace Alan Ala Alatoa. Oh, he's up. He's up and he's moving around. And the All Blacks on the... Oh, they fail to find touch now themselves, the All Blacks. The All Blacks fail to find touch from the penalty. And now counter ruck is not good. And it's a penalty to the Wallabies. Yeah, catch you later, Gamer Mel. Enjoy your win from last night, Gamer Mel. Melbourne Storm rolling towards another grand final against the Penrith Panthers. Quade Cooper still plays. Oh, is he on the field now? There you go. I was saying early in the second half, Quade Cooper will come on and replace John Farnham because John Farnham has had an absolute stinker in the number 10 jersey. There he goes. Johnny Farnham, off he goes. Quade Cooper's on. This will be interesting. Can Quade Cooper provide a spark? He generally sucks against the All Blacks. It's a great kick into touch, though. And the Wallabies will have the line-out throw. 5 out from the line. Big, bad Brodie Retallick is going to have a... Is he going to have a spell? No, he's coming over to the line, I think. Wallabies, first job done. They win the ball. They try to set up the rolling maul. All Blacks counter it well, but good shape at the back here. The Wallabies, great shape. They've broken away here. The Wallabies at the back. Great drive. Brought down. Great defense. Great defense from the All Blacks. Short of the line. They bring the maul down perfectly legally, and they win a scrum. Oh, Nick White's on the field as well. Tate McDermott has played himself out of the Wallabies squad tonight for sure. And Eddie Jones, he's thrown all his cards out there. His aces are out on the table. Nick White, Quade Cooper. It's all or nothing now to finish this game. It could be an Eddie Jones masterclass, in all honesty. It really, really could be an Eddie Jones masterclass. Keep within striking distance and then send the big guns out there. No, I don't, James Jason Bourne. I don't. I call him a waste of space. But I'm saying Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones has kept his usual starters on the bench tonight. I call him a gigantic waste of space. New Zealand win the scrum. It was under a little bit of pressure. They set up now. Ron Smith with the box kick. Up towards halfway. Oh, he spills it at the back. Kellaway spills it at the back. It was already over the sideline, though. I think it might have just saved his bacon. This could be a New Zealand throw. We need to have a look at this. Kellaway, does he have a foot over the side? He's got both feet over the sideline. In the air, touches it back in field. Oh, he's lucky to get away with that one, Kellaway. He nearly made a great galoot out of himself. The Wallabies get the throw on the halfway line. Once again, to start this second half, they're dominating possession. Korombede, nowhere to go. Big defense here from the All Blacks. Defensively, they've gone up a gear from the first half. White, looking for runners, finds one. Tupou, his leg is fine. He winds up there, the little rhinoceros. Kellaway. Just moments ago, Kellaway nearly made a complete and total goof out of himself. Seven phases through here for the Wallabies. Big defense still from the All Blacks. All over the ball here in New Zealand. How long will Wayne Barnes give the Wallabies to hold on to the ball? Counter ruck is good. Counter ruck is good from the All Blacks, but then they drop the ball. Papali'i knocks it forward. They did all the hard work. All the hard work to win the turnover, and then Papali'i spills the beans. "54 minutes go." Oh, Tupou's gone. Taniela Tupou is done. I feel like Taniela Tupou is done. No, he's going back to the scrum. Angus Bell, he was getting ready to come back onto the field, but no. Tupou says, I can keep going. It's all good. No, here he comes. He's off now. He was walking over towards the scrum. But he is done, Tupou. Nope, he's walking back to the scrum. Oh my God, what is happening here? Confusion reigns. Confusion reigns all over the park here. Tupou. He's gone. He's walked over to the scrum. He's getting ready to be replaced. He's walked to the sideline. He's walked back to the scrum. Christopher Norman, ahoy. Dalt's next try scorer. Dalton Papali'i. Michelle. Around the grounds with Michelle, the Metal Maiden. Cricket, who cares? Sharks suck. We already knew that. They actually did well to only lose by 28 points. I thought that the Panthers would be up by 40 by half-time, in all honesty. So they actually did better than I expected. Only giving up 28 points in the whole 80 minutes. Swimmers are winning. Who cares? Not a real sport. And there's some AFL on that I care not for. Me either, because also not a real sport. Thank you. Around the grounds with Michelle, everyone. Yay! James Jason Bourne says Michael Hooper must be injured. He's done. Michael Hooper's done. 54 minutes gone in this one. Oh, crowd attendance, 83,944. Just a few more than were at the Storm game the other night. Largest Wallabies home crowd in 20 years. Rugby is well and truly alive in Melbourne. And another scrum reset. The All Blacks are all over this Wallaby scrum. Bubba Ray Dudley. Bubba Ray Dudley's in the crowd. There was 86,000 at the AFL last night. Jesus Christ, really? There was a crowd at an AFL game in Melbourne? My God! Take it to the press. Melbourne, of course, is the only place where AFL is played, so it makes sense that there would be a crowd there. Who'd have thought that they would get a crowd at Melbourne for the Aussie rules? Insanity. Big scrum again from the All Blacks. Pressure on the Wallabies. It spills out the back. All Blacks, massive scrum, dominating the Wallabies front row. They just capitulated there. They folded them. And the All Blacks can set this up on the halfway line. But again, to start this second half, the Wallabies have been dominating possession and territory. The All Blacks just struggling to go. The All Blacks chants around the stadium. Have the Wallabies turn this over? Yes, they have. The counter-ruck is very impressive. Wasted World of Sports is a play on Wide World of Sports, obviously, Michelle. I mean, I apologize if it was if that play on words was beyond you. It doesn't mean that we're going to do every sport coverage. I mean, physically, it's impossible for starters. The channel also started with rugby union. Funnily enough. So Michelle always tells people it's really the wasted world of NRL. It's like, well, the channel started in 2019 with the Rugby World Cup. But let's ignore that little bit of history. Oh, we've got an issue here for the Wallabies. We have a little bit of an issue. I thought Taniela Tupou left. Oh, no, he went back on, didn't he? Well, anyways, he's going to be leaving now because Tupou has just done a blatant shoulder charge right to the side of the head. And Tupou is going to be sent from the field here. He should have left with the injury. Yellow card here for Tupou. I did take a very large break. A very large break. And you did make me restart it. That is very, very true. And then you did rage quit on me. Yes, you did. This is all true. This is all true in the chat room. Mind you, I can understand. Well, kind of. I kind of understand the rage quit because it was during Origin period and bloody hell did we suck. So I get it. I totally get it. We sucked the air out of the stadium in Origin this year. It was terrible. Atrocious. I would have rage quit too, except, well, some poor sucker's got to do it. But anyways, what's not sucking here is the All Blacks, who have the ball 15 out from the Wallabies line, ready to ice this game. Staring down the clock, looking at 20 minutes to go. Another try would put them over the top. Aaron Smith breaks away from the back of the ruck, nearly gets there. A great charge by Aaron. A penalty advantage, diving over, that's the try. That is the try. That is the match. Caleb Clark. Over he goes and scores the try, 24-7. They have been destroying the Wallabies down this blind side. And once again, way too easy. Who was that they caught there? They've caught somebody slow to retreat. Aaron Smith spotted the gap. Caleb Clark, the pick and go from the base of the ruck. Over the line he goes, and that puts the All Blacks well and truly clear now. The crazy thing about this, the All Blacks really have not had the weight of possession. They definitely haven't had the weight of territory. Yeah, Scott Barrett. Yeah, Scotty, tell him about it. Tell that cheeky little sod about it. Scott Barrett telling Nick White to just shut the hell up. Everybody wishes they had the opportunity to do that, Scott. I'll drink to that. Cheers, mate. Chirpy little bugger that Nick White is. Yeah, look at the scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard, mate, with your 80s little porn stash. Richie Mo'unga, another conversion. 26 points to 7. My prediction was 34-15. All Blacks 34-15. Well, I don't think 15's on because there's absolutely no need for the Wallabies to take a penalty goal at this stage. So 15's out of the question, but we'll be close. We could be close. We just need a Marky Mark try for the Wallabies. Marky Mark scores a try and we ice that multi. And it'll be happy days. Mo'unga clears for the All Blacks. Doesn't find touch. He wasn't looking for touch. And Kellaway can return it to Cooper. Passes it across. Here's Marky Mark. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Oh, that's the worst pass you'll ever see in the world. Over the sideline it goes, and it's going to be All Blacks ball. Eddie Jones. Oh, he's upset, Eddie. Eddie Jones has just channeled Craig Bellamy and throws his pen down on the bench. Let's see. What are the All Blacks going to do here? Oh, the All Blacks, they get a penalty here on halfway. Geordie Barrett thumps it into touch. That is a great touch finder. Vopsy says Eddie Jones looks like he would be great mates with Ricky Stewart. Yep, I can see that. All Blacks win the line out. 22 metres out again. 62 minutes gone. There's still time, but the Wallabies need to get their act together. And by there's still time, I don't mean there's still time for them to win. I mean there's still time for us to get our multi up. I needed to leave the Wallaby off my multi as well, Vobsy, is what I needed to do. You did the right thing. You left the Australian off the... You left the Australian off the multi. It was probably a wise decision, but we'll see. Michael, that theory. Looks like 3 in a row. Jones, you grub. How Rennie will be laughing. Not just Rennie. Robbie Deans as well. Let's not forget that Robbie Deans was cast out. It's not a New Zealand coach's fault that this Wallabies team sucks. Heel fries. The prodigal son returns. How are you, mate? We've been worried about you. I was just mentioning the other night, and I hope Heel Fries is all right. Haven't seen him for a while. All Blacks now centimetres short of the line. Will Jordan looking for a double. Passes it out to Talea, and that's another try for the All Blacks. Talea scores in the corner, 31-7. Oh, remember my pre-game prediction, 34-15, All Blacks. I think it's going to be very close. Will Jordan with the setup. Remember I said it's going to be a Justin Olam moment for Marky Mark. I think it's safe to put a tick on the All Blacks with the win now as well. We just need Marky Mark for this multi. It's the only one left. Trust me. Trust me. The All Blacks under Ian Foster are good at switching off in the last 10. The Wallabies could very well bag a consolation try through the outside backs in the final 10. It was a toss-up between Marky Mark and Kellaway. Let's see if I've ended up making the right decision. Have I made the right call? Mo'unga from the sideline does not hook it around enough. It stays just to the right of the post, and it's 31 points to 7 in favour of the All Blacks. Their 21-year domination of the Bledisloe Cup will continue. So Heel Fries, the channel is monetized now. 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. The channel is monetized. We had a few super chat donations last night during the NRL. Up, wasted world of sports. Now, the All Blacks have completely opened up. Expansive play here. Caleb Clark charging forward from the kickoff. They have gone 80 metres upfield. Threatening for some more points. It's loose out the back, though. Ioane goes back, recovers. Fires it out to Talea. Talea just makes a complete goose out of Corambete, I think it was. And now Ioane will score another one for New Zealand. Oh, they just made the Wallabies look like schoolboys there. Corambete, I think it was, has just been made to look a fool upon himself. The All Blacks have just gone the length of the field from the kickoff. Incredible skills on display there. So we were talking about this before the game started. The last time that the Wallabies won the Bledisloe Cup, George Gregan was the captain. Eddie Jones was the coach. And John Howard, Prime Minister John Howard, presented the trophy to the Wallabies. That was the last time they won this. Heel Fry says, Dan, is there going to be members? Eventually. I just need to figure out what the membership is going to entail. But yes, there will be. Mo'unga, he's learnt from his last attempt. This time it's right down the middle. 38 points to 7. 34-15 was my pre-game prediction. It has definitely outweighed that. I'm still hoping for a consolation try for Marky Mark for the Wallabies so that this multi gets up. Shack of Heart says Talea and Jordan are carving the Wallabies up. Absolutely they are. Dixon Afamoa, too good for the Wallabies. Go All Blacks. Way too good. Way too good. 38-17. Honestly, I feel like the All Blacks haven't even been on top in terms of controlling this game. They've gone up again now, absolutely. Absolutely. Since that try that put it out of reach, they have been. But for 60-odd minutes of this game, I feel like the Wallabies have been controlling the pace, controlling the flow and the territory. They just haven't had the points to show for it. The All Blacks' defense has been too good. They've just defended. It's been like on The Simpsons when Homer was doing the boxing. The All Blacks have just stood there and let the Wallabies punch themselves out. And now that the Wallabies have wasted themselves, just gone. The All Blacks have just gone. Mo Sislak has been screaming from the corner going, this is it now. Just tap him. Boom. And the Wallabies have fallen over. Can they bag a consolation try, though? If they do, we want it to be Marky Mark, because that gets the multi up. Of course. Some takeaways for the Wallabies. Tate McDermott has played himself out of score. Straight through now. Here we go. The Wallabies going for the line. Angus Bell. He's cut down short. Blindside play, they go. No, go the other side of the field. That's where Marky Mark is. All right, front football here for the Wallabies. 10 minutes to go. The consolation tries on. Send it to Marky Mark. Let's do it. Cooper to Korombete. Korombete kicks. What the hell's Valentini doing out there? Where's Marky Mark? There he is, getting involved in the ruck. Now he's caught. We're caught on the wrong side of the field now. What the hell was Valentini doing out there? Remixes for DJs. Ahoy. Wallabies walloped. They've got some space now out to the left. Looking for a consolation try inside the last 10 minutes here, the Wallabies. 14 phases gone. It's loose. It's a loose carry. And Quade Cooper spills his beans. And the All Blacks defense has just simply been too good tonight. The error from Quade Cooper. The kick fails to find touch, but that's irrelevant at this point in time. Marky Mark, here he is. Gets through and flicks the offload to Karevi. Wallabies settle things down. Can they do it? Can they get my multi up inside this last 9 minutes? This is what I was talking about. The All Blacks, they've got this game in hand. They've essentially stopped playing. All over that ball, though, and a great turnover. Who was that? That was great work. And now they've got space out to the right. Ioane takes it to the line. Jordan puts Talea into space. Talea gets on the outside of Korombete. But Korombete comes back at him and wins the turnover. Great defense in the end there from Marika Korombete. He's like, you're not going to make a fool out of me twice in a row. So yes, Wasted World of Sports, we have hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. The channel is monetized now. We've got the Super Chat squad, of which there are 3 members. A Super Chat of any amount. Get your name and your jersey, the jersey of your favorite team, on our Super Chat squad, which it took me by surprise that anybody even donated at all last night, that don't have it set up yet, so I need to get off my ass and do that. But that's coming. And yes, channel memberships will be on the way. If you've got any ideas, chat room. Because it's all about you, ultimately. We need to provide something that you would be interested in being part of. So if you've got any ideas for what we can offer here at the Wastewater Sports for membership, do let me know. Don't be afraid to let me know. It's not a commitment-based suggestion. If you make the suggestion and I go with it and you don't end up signing up, I'm not going to be like, God damn it, this was your suggestion and you're not there. I'm open to suggestions for things that might entice you to potentially join our crew here at the Wastewater Sports. Oh my God, he is busted wide open there. One of the Wallabies has got claret coming out of every orifice. Now Quade Cooper puts a cheeky little kick in for Kellaway. Oh, don't tell me Kellaway's going to score. No, he doesn't. He falls over his own feet. And Will Jordan with the turnover. Oh, geez, that would have been insult to injury if Kellaway scored, because I said it was a toss of the coin, Kellaway or Marky Mark. Mwanga with the kick upfield. Great chase. Karevi's under pressure. Karevi makes a complete and total tit out of himself, and Mwanga will score under the post. Oh, Marika Korambete. He's big, but he's dumb. And that is an easy try under the post for Richie Mwanga and the All Blacks. Oh, what? A push in the back. No try. Ah, well, we take it all back. A push in the back. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, he was impeded. To be fair, Korambete was impeded there. Michael DeTheory says, going to be good to hear what Jones has to say after the game. I think it will be something along the lines of, well, mate, we just weren't good enough tonight. All Blacks were at an extra level. They were at the next level, and mate, we just couldn't compete. And then they'll say, well, what about your? Do you think that your Eddie? Do you think that your plan for impact off the bench lived up to expectations tonight? And Eddie Jones will be like, "There's no need to be a smartass, mate. No need at all to be a smartass." There we go. You see, you don't need to watch the press conference now. I've done it all. I've done it already. 5 minutes to go in this game. 5 minutes for Marky Mark to bag a consolation try here for the Wallabies. Can we get this multi over the line? 38 points to 7 is domination of the highest order. Knocked back off the All Blacks. They will have possession. Heel Fries has got a suggestion for members. They can be added to a call with Michelle and they could roast her for 5 minutes. Well, I don't know. Michelle, if that's what the people want. I mean, think about it. I'd be happy to get roasted for 5 minutes if it meant money. What about you? James Jason says, hot tip, Bulldogs beat Dolphins tomorrow. I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't know. Let me have a few more drinks and then I might have the confidence to actually back myself on that. But I'm considering it. I am actually seriously considering that as an option. I feel like the Bulldogs could be on song. They could be on song tomorrow. Wallabies with the turnover. No. All Blacks hold on to it. 4 minutes to go. 11 phases now. All Blacks. It looks like they're not going to relinquish anything here tonight, the All Blacks. They're usually good for a late consolation try to the Wallabies, in all honesty. They usually are. It seems like it's not coming tonight, though. Kick in over the top of Corumbete. Goes back, collects it, fires it infield to Kellaway. Kellaway has no option but to kick it upfield. I'm fairly sure he was looking for touch. He fails to find it. The counter is on here for the All Blacks. Clark takes it to the line. Out to Papali'i. Papali'i beats one. Takes on Cooper. Dominates the contact area. They stay on the short side here, the All Blacks. Oh, there's more points in them, in all honesty. I don't think it will be tonight. The crossfield kick is a shocker. But it's still All Blacks ball. Leonard Brown takes it to the line. It needs to be an intercept. Marky Mark needs to bag an intercept if it's going to happen. Mwanga to Will Jordan. Papali'i. Ioane puts the little grubber kick in. Cooper's back to collect it. He's got nowhere to go, Cooper. Tries to spin in the tackle. Gets wiped out by his own man. It spills out. Wallabies secure the loose ball. There's 2 minutes. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Karevi's under pressure. Gets away from the first up tackle. And puts the kick in. Will Jordan will take it, but not enough meters made. It's going to take an intercept here, I feel, for Marky Mark. But anyways, look, we got 3 out of the 4. It's going to be a bonus bet return for me. Oh, we've got a little break of play while somebody puts their boot back on. That gives me a chance to get a new drink. Yes, because at full time, somebody remind me, we need to look up who these South African referees are. I can't do it anymore, heel fries, in all honesty. I just can't do it anymore. By the time the footy ends, I'm just so... I mean, I don't know how many people are on right now, but it's extremely difficult to go to an Intoxigamer stream for a couple of hours. When you've had like upwards of 50 viewers on the footy, it's hard to go and do a stream for a couple of hours to like 4 people. In all honesty. Shack of Hearts, you're way ahead of me. Thirty seconds. 30 seconds for Marky Mark to get over the line. First job done. They win the line out here, the Wallabies. White. Out to Cooper. There goes the full-time siren. The full-time siren is on. This is it now. Counter ruck is good from the All Blacks. They don't win the ball, though. Wallabies keep it alive. Down the blind side. Hooper. Now they've decided to start to play. Angus Bell up towards halfway. Nick White holds the ball up. And he holds it up a little bit too much. And it's a penalty to the All Blacks. Oh, the multi is now officially shot to pieces. Do the All Blacks have a shot at 3 points here? A cheeky little shot at 3. Do it. Do it. Take the cheeky shot for 3. Oh, please do it, Richie. Please do. No, he's going to bang it into touch. They're just going to tap and bang it into touch. I'd have taken the cheeky shot at 3 points. Why not? 38 points to 7. My pre-game prediction was the All Blacks to win 35 No, 34-15. 34-15. I wasn't too far off. I was only one more Wallaby try of 12 points. And the All Blacks got one too many tries. It wasn't the worst prediction in the world. 34-15. Full time, 38-7. Not too bad. Michael DeTheory says, thanks for the live, mate. Not a problem at all. It's been fun as always. Jason Bourne says, you know what? Wallabies might only win one game in the World Cup. No, they'll do all right. Come World Cup time, they'll do okay. They will get out of their group for sure. Will says, I said 38-7. Well, Will, there is a chat log. We can go back and see if you actually did say that. And if you did, very impressive, mate. Very impressive. Little Drums, 78. Sad face. Shack of Heart says it's the sin bins. Wallabies have now played the equivalent of 50 minutes with 14 men. Will says, no, don't go back and check it. All right, Will, I will not. I shall not go back and check that. Yeah, I think with the Eels going the way they're going, I feel like Heel Fries might be a bigger fan of Intoxigamer at the moment. But as I said, it's so hard to do. It's so hard to sneak in an Intoxigamer stream, especially because potentially we have coming up in a couple of hours coming up, Springboks versus Argentina. I can't realistically do an Intoxigamer stream and then be ready for the Springboks Argentina Rugby Championship game in a couple of hours. Lil Drum 78 says, thank you for the stream. I'm tipping my Bulldogs tomorrow. Let's hope they win. I think they might. I really do feel like they could get the victory, the Bulldogs, tomorrow. Okay, we were talking during the stream about South African referees. My all-time favourite referees in rugby, Nigel Owens. Nigel Owens is just heads and tails above everybody else. Nigel Owens is the GOAT of referees. Craig Joubert, of course, was a good one. But no, let's have a look. South African rugby officials. Oh God, because I'm going back a while. He took absolutely no nonsense. Andre Watson and Jonathan Kaplan. Yes, those are the two I'm thinking of. Andre Watson and Jonathan Kaplan took absolutely no bollocks. No bollocks at all. They were great referees. They were no-nonsense referees. Just like Nigel Owens. Actually, there's a really great compilation on YouTube of Nigel Owens. Hang on, let me turn my TV off for a second because it's distracting me. Bob Fish, ahoy mate. Bob Fish says, you doing South Africa, Argentina? I am going to try. I am going to try so hard. The issue is, though, the only issue is that game is on well after midnight for me. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to manage it, but I will absolutely try my best. I will try my darndest, as they say. But yes, who did I say? Jonathan Kaplan and Andre Watson. So that'd be my GOATs. Nigel Owens, Andre Watson, Jonathan Kaplan. The greatest rugby referees of all time. Absolutely fabulous. No nonsense refs. They didn't cop any flack from anybody. I remember Andre Watson used to put George Gregan in his place. I'm pretty sure it was Andre Watson. It was the Brumbies versus Sharks Super Rugby final. And George Gregan was just, as George Gregan used to do, yapping it at Watson all bloody night. And he finally had enough, and he reversed a penalty. On halfway. And Butch James had an opportunity to crack a penalty goal, which would have put the Sharks back within striking distance in the Super Rugby final. And Andre Watson basically straight out said to George Gregan, if this costs you the final, step back and have a think about it. Because he was just in his ear all night, having to go at every decision he made. And the Brumbies were on top and in the lead, and Andre Watson just had enough. And Butch James could kick them from pretty much anywhere. The Sharks number 10. And I think he might have actually missed that kick at goal, if memory serves me correctly. It was quite some time ago. But yeah, I do distinctly remember Andre Watson said directly to George Gregan, it was your penalty. I've reversed it. If this costs you the final, step back and have a think about it. Check your attitude, mate. Anyway, Wasted World of Sports, thank you so much for your company as always. I'm starting to run out of things to talk about. The All Blacks have retained the Bledisloe Cup for another year. What is that, 22 years in a row? 23? It's over 20 anyway, and it's not looking like ending anytime soon. Their domination over the Bledisloe Cup. 34 points to 15 was my pre-game prediction. 38 points to 7 was the final result. Not too far off. I was only one leg away from the multi. Marky Mark couldn't get over the try line in the end, but it's okay. 3 out of the 4 legs, I get my money returned in the form of a bonus bet, so we can go again. We can have another crack at it. Wasted World of Sports, thank you so much. 1,000 subscribers. We are monetized now. Super chats are absolutely what's the word? Not expected, but very much appreciated. And we will set up the Super Chat squad for the future streams, and channel memberships will be coming soon. But yes, absolutely no obligation. Not expected, but very much appreciated if and when that does happen. Thank you so much, everyone, for your company, as always. And I will catch you next time. Until then, cheers. I mean, hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully we're here backing up for the Springboks Argentina game. But we'll see. Thank you very much, my friends. Until next time, drink up. Responsibly, of course.